Happy Tuesday. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are blessed. Again, this is Doula Talk Tuesday. Like always, just wanted to explain for my new people watching, Doula Talk Tuesday is a special conversation I decided to create after becoming a doula, just so myself, other birth workers, other doulas in the field, we can have great conversations, just speaking about motherhood, different topics pertaining to labor and delivery, postpartum care, pregnancy, parenthood, everything under the sun. So I'm very excited because we're almost at 1 year of starting Doula Talk Tuesday, and it has been a blessing. I always get great comments. I always get great feedback, indicating the work is just so powerful and people are really resonating with the information being provided. So I can just only hope for the best for the upcoming year to come and the upcoming speaker. For today, we were scheduled to have a special topic with a special guest worker pertaining to holistic health and wellness, but due to scheduling conflicts, she can't make it on this episode. But I really want to continue the conversation going because we will be taking a mini break in October, so we can get right back up in November. So without further ado, on this special Tuesday, I really want to talk and I really want to just focus on the upcoming months of winter. For a lot of us, a lot of mothers that's on the move, even single mothers, especially mothers with multiple kids, these upcoming months is a lot. Mothers who are still participating in so many holidays. You have so many holidays coming up where you have to spend money, prepare the kids, put them in extra curricular activity. It's just so much that you may have to do in this season. So I wanted to come on here to just provide some more information as far as breaking down how we can collectively just be overall together mentally, spiritually, physically, just so we can continue to grow, especially in these winter months. So if you are joining in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you share this out for another mother who may need to also get prepared for this winter season. Please feel free to drop a comment. Just say, hey, do whatever, just to show that you are here. So without further ado, with this winter months coming up, this is really the grind time as far as really getting a whole lot done with your kids. Of course, daylight savings, unfortunately, that's about to end, and I hate it because I do not like it getting dark so freaking quick. I don't like driving at night, like not at 5 o'clock at night. So with that being said, I'm already seeing people on social media talking about their seasonal depression start kicking in. They're feeling more sluggish, they're feeling more lazy, procrastination, coming with the darker days. And I can stand a test that I be feeling like that too. When I see it's 5 o'clock and it's dark, I just want to get in the bed. But in real life, 5 o'clock is peak season, peak mode time when it comes to my baby girl. So I can't do none of that. So it's just very important that number one, we get our schedule in place. So number one is schedule. What is your schedule going to look like these upcoming months? Especially tomorrow is October 1st. So what is your schedule? If you have multiple kids like me, I only got one kid and I am a calendar girl. I'm a pen and paper girl. I got my cute little pens. I like writing everything down. If you don't tell me and if I don't write it down, I may not get to it because I'm just going. So moms, you really need to get a locked in schedule. Scheduling is key for not only you, but for also your kids. I see so many parents just complain about like how their kids just stay up, and then they wake up, they be tired, they just be cranky. Schedule is key. My girl, no, 8:30, 8 o'clock, no later than 9 o'clock, she is in the bed. She preparing herself to get in the bed. Every once in a while, she may stay up, and even then, she be falling asleep. I be trying to let her stay up. We'll stay up watching movies. She end up falling asleep because she's so used to that routine, to that schedule. So, mamas, make sure you all have a good routine, and also with that routine, we all need to put in things for us. I don't care if it's like you taking a 10-minute sit down so you can read a chapter of a book, you can crochet, you can go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and get some paint. You need to really schedule little downtime for you, because one thing I'm realizing now in this current season I'm in, I'm not where I want to be, but I still need to enjoy the life that I have right now. I'm here for a reason. So me constantly focusing on what's ahead is not beneficial for me. It's not beneficial for my daughter, because with her being this young age, like I'm only going to get this once. And for you, with multiple kids or even one kid, depending on what age they are, we only gonna get this once. Before you know it, they gonna be grown out the house and don't be barely calling us. Cause I know how I was with my parents when I first got out the house. So real talk, we need to schedule good scheduling, good routine, not only for our kids but for ourselves, so we won't be looking like a chicken with our head cut off. And again, with these later months coming, it's just so much darkness. It's just far as like, again, the daylight savings, is getting dark quicker. Many kids are in extracurricular activities. You got to schedule that, then you got to run back home, you got to feed them, you got to do homework, and if it's just you and you alone, that is a whole lot. So mamas, the number one thing is schedule, routine. So I want y'all to go to Dollar Tree. If it's your phone, get some cute pens, start scheduling, mapping out how do you want these winter months to go, because those winter months is very hard on people. It's just a lot of stuff that's in the air that may try to get you in depression, make you feel low, make you feel like even like you're not worth it, you're not being a good mom, and that's not the case. So make sure you get some good scheduling in. I don't care if you got to drag your kids for you to get a self-care. Like me, sometimes I don't be having people to watch my daughter. I take her to the nail shop with me. I take her to get my hair done. Like, you got to do what you got to do. So moms, is really no excuses. I don't want us to have any more excuses on why we can't do the things we want to, why we can't enjoy our moments, because I don't want to wait until I'm 40 or 50 years old to enjoy motherhood. Like, no, I'm going to be old. I want to be able to still enjoy my youth, still enjoy being a mother, and then also still enjoy the other aspects, the other things that are connected to me. Because like how I say in other lives, before I was a mother, I was an entrepreneur. I used to cook, I used to dance, I used to heavily exercise. I was so many hats before I became a mother. The mother is just a little cherry on top of my sundae. I was so many other things besides that. And we really need to remember that. We really need to get back to it. So we need to also just think about that little girl in us, that childlike girl in us. Like, what did you like to do? What hobbies did you like to do? If that's you, going to the store, getting you a color book, get you some crayons, color, do something that will be able to fill you up, so you won't be so consumed and overwhelmed in motherhood. So, number one, is scheduling. Number two, we need to be eating right in this season. I know Thanksgiving is coming up. I know everybody gonna be a big back in November, but at least now, since it's starting to get a little cooler, we need to start getting outside. We need to start walking. We need to start exercising. We need to start building our stamina. We need to start really building our core. Mamas who maybe just have had a baby, we really need to start building that up, because again, the habits, the healthy habits that we do now, no matter what age you are, but especially in your 20s, in your 30s, and even in your 40s, is going to shape us in the latter years. I seen one post on TikTok, a ER like operator, nurse. He stated that most of the people that are on the operating table is the people who got a little bit of meat on their bones, that are not active, that are not actively fit. Not saying you have to be like a sumo wrestler as far as being muscular, but you need to walk, you need to exercise, you need to move, you need to stretch, so we won't have to be worrying about in our 50s and our 60s getting hip replacements, knee replacements. Going back to the hips, we hold a lot in our hips. So we need to move, we need to stretch, we need to do mobility skills that will continue to help us be flexible. So if we bump ourselves or if we fall, we don't have to be rushed to the emergency room to get a surgery because we broke something. So health is wealth. Your body is your temple. So not only you exercising, but you need to fuel yourself with good food. For me, I love the winter months because I love soup. I like making soup. I really drink my teas. Winter months is really good for me as far as really going on liquid diet, surprisingly enough. In the summertime, it be too hot. Sometimes I'll be wanting some food. I like to fast. I like to eat my salads and my fruit, but I be wanting some food in me because it be so hot. But in the wintertime, I don't have a problem with fasting. That's just with me personally because it's colder. I don't know. That's how I operate. Maybe you're opposite. You just need to find your rhythm, your technique where you can continue to thrive, eat right. Because again, when you feel good, you look good, and food starts with that. Your gut is your second brain. So make sure you fueling yourself with the right nutrients. Also, please don't slip on supplements, powders. Like me, I got chlorophyll, shots. It comes like in the little drops. I get that from Whole Foods. Make sure you get your fiber. Fiber is key. Your chia seeds, your wheatgrass. It's so many other things. I'm gonna plug in my girl Candace. She is a herbalist. Also my girl Brittany. She is a herbalist as well. You all can go to them. They sell herbs. But we really need to be fueling ourselves with the right herbs, with the right drinks, so we can continue to be not only productive in our body, but also have high energy. I got a toddler. I can't be sluggish. Like, she be giving me a run for my money. So, and even when we go and do these extracurricular activities with our kid, we need to be able to have the energy like them. So we can enjoy ourselves. Just going back to number one, we need to start really enjoying motherhood. I know life be lifing. Life is lifing for a lot of people, a lot of families, but we need to have joy. We need to find light beyond what may be going on because we're still here. God has us here for a reason. And I really want us moms to just really start enjoying the precious moments we have with our kids, the precious moments we may have with our mate, with our family, and also the precious moment with ourselves. Because again, we will only be this age one time. We will only be in this season for this one time. So we need to live it up while we can. And just going again with the food, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I shared a post like a few weeks ago talking about people who say they don't like water. You better throw some fruit in it. Like hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Even if it's you eating fruit, we need to hydrate ourselves. We need to fuel ourselves not only with food, but with also water. Me, I love tea. I always drink tea in the morning time, and I also have a cup of tea in the evening time. I highly suggest you drink tea so you can start getting your digestive going and flowing. Even if you don't drink tea, coconut water is good. You getting a juicer, maybe juicing some fruits and veggies together, or even you drinking a smoothie. But you really need to hydrate yourself. Even though it's cold, our bodies it still need water. Okay, we still need water. Point blank, period. So if you got to do some warm lemon water, do that, but you still need to fuel yourself. Again, just going back, make sure you move your body. Stretching, I love throwing on some music, dancing, some high tempo music. I'm about to give me a step after my last wellness fair last week, and I was doing the little step. um I'm gonna order me a stepper because I really like step. I used to do it back in undergrad, going to the step class, and I really want to pick back that again because we really need to move our body. Because I'm not gonna be on the operating table getting a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a shoulder replacement. I'm not gonna get repaired on my back. None of that. I don't want to get my ankle broken. None of that. I want to be flexible. I want to have good mobility again. So even well in my latter years, 70, 80, 90, if God willing, I will still be able to walk and maintain certain things and be active for my grandkids. And so it's just the ever going process, but it starts with now. Going into the next thing, our emotional wellness. Again, the shorter days can affect our mood. I'm already feeling it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's getting dark quicker. I gotta deal with these crazy people on the highways and byways that can barely drive at night. The deer is finna start popping out on the highways. Y'all know how it is down here in the South. It's just a lot. So again, I just really want us to center ourselves emotionally. Be slow to speak. It says it in the Bible, be slow to speak. Be meek. Meek means you don't be popping off like that. You gotta let stuff roll off your back when it comes to this season, because everybody emotions be on high in this season because they be trying to do so much. Sometimes people be robbing people to PayPal, try to do all this stuff. They got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of birthdays, a lot of events, and it's just emotional for a lot of people. Also, just speaking about grieving. I know me, coming November, I'm gonna be in that process because it'll be 1 year for my dad. I'm thinking about this. A lot of people are transitioning, so emotions are on high. People are losing their jobs. It's just a lot of things going on in this world right now that will have people emotionally triggered. And again, if it's not you, it's what's going on beyond we can see. So it's very important that we be in tune with ourselves emotionally. Take those breaks. Have a journal. I love to journal. I love to write. I got several journals. I love to write. I love to make videos, just expressing myself. I just like to be alone, just me, just speaking to God. I talk to God. I like that because I'm able to pour out to him. If I can't pour out to a person, I know he go listen to me. So you really need to get in tune with yourself emotionally in this season, because also you don't want to let your emotions spill out on your kids. I think it's with us being millennials and how our parents may have raised us, but I am very apologetic when it comes to my daughter. I tell her, like, if I may have just lashed out because I had other stuff going on, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry for saying that. I'm sorry. And she be like, it's okay, mommy, So little things like that. So if you know that you may have been in the wrong, if you know those emotions wasn't supposed to go towards your kid, your child like that, say sorry, apologize, because they are a mirror. So if they see you being emotionally mature, emotionally aware of yourself, they will do the same. My daughter, she now know how to regulate her emotions thanks to Daniel Tiger. So she knows how to count to 4. So she be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. But she also sees me regulate my emotions. I don't scream in front of her. I don't try to spaz out. I don't spaz out. I don't do those things like that because, again, I'm trying to set the example for her so she won't have to operate in her emotions. Because, again, when we operate emotionally as a woman, sometimes those decisions do not be right. And I learned my lesson back in the gap. I refuse to go back to that old person. So make sure you be emotionally aware. Have a friend. I have different people in my life in this season. I can talk to about certain things, different things. We relate. I have many of my doula sisters. Sometimes we be walking on the same path, but different stories, different journeys. But we can be able to talk to and just vent and just share, and then also pour into each other. So that's another thing. Make sure you find, if it's only just one person where you can really speak to them, you'll be able to confide in them and vice versa, and they can pour into you. So many times, that I can speak for myself, I always love to just make people better. If someone say something going on, I give them a solution. I'm a problem oriented solver person. I love pouring into people because I would like that in return. But sometimes us people, we don't get the pouring into. So please make sure in this season you have the right people that's surrounded with you, that can pour into you, and then also they can see when things are wrong. They can check in on you. I love the people in my life that can just send a text, hey, I'm just checking in on you, hey, is everything okay? And it be at the right moment. So make sure you have those key players in your life. And if you may not have that in your life, it's okay. I used to be like that. It's going to come. Maybe in this season, you just maybe have to just walk at this alone. It's just a you and God season. But note that your tribe, your community is gonna come. But again, if not, make sure you get a journal. Write in your journal. And then also you can look back and see how far you came from that particular season, that particular moment that's in your life. And then again, I just want to really just highlight, you are not alone. You are never alone. Sometimes we may feel life be life, and life can life. We may have our valley, we may be going through our tests, but you are not alone. So you really have to remember that, especially in these upcoming months, because it can feel that you are not alone, that things are piling up, but you also have to know that you have people with you. You have someone watching over you, and it's only a season. Okay, the next one is, again, spiritually. How are you feeling spiritually? Again, I'm not gonna even, I can't, I make this a 2-hour topic, but these upcoming months is really a time I can really say, because I've been through it and I lived it, is spiritual warfare. It's constant battle spiritually. You may not feel right. You don't know what it is. You may not can see it physically, but you just know spiritually something is not right. And this is the peak season for for a lot of reasons, but just because that may be going on, it doesn't mean you have to succumb to those feelings, to that negative energy, to how life again is just moving. Just because life may be going wrong or going bad for someone else or in another region, it doesn't mean that it will happen to you. I know me, I know what I believe in, and he says that shoot, everything may be going crazy around you, but he will cover you. And I believe that with my whole heart. So if you believe it and if you have faith and you trust in God, it will happen for you. So again, you really need to start your day out with gratitude. Me, I rarely hardly complain. If it try to come close to a complaint, I always revert back, because there's no way I should be complaining right now, because I know the season, the moment that I'm in right now, someone else may want that. I know someone else could even dream of what I may be living in, I may be thriving in right now. So it's just very important we start our day with gratitude. We say thank you for today, thank you for our kids. You can just go on and on about the gratitude that you may have in your life. Start your day with a high note. I don't care if you got a stressful job, at least you have a job. I don't care if something may be going wrong. You may have a spare tire on your car. At least you got a car to take you to point A and B. You wanted to get Popeyes, but you had to settle for some McDonald's. At least you got some food. You just gotta really be in gratitude in this season, because there's so many families, there's so many mothers that are going through it, that may be in a hard time right now, but you may not, this may be your thriving season. So, and even if it's not a season like that for you and it's really trying for you, start giving thanks for the little things. I remember when I was really going through hard times, I was just giving thanks for the little things, and that made my day. It gave me another day to go by, because again, we just got to go day by day. Sometimes we just think so far ahead, and that's what really stop us from really just going forward and really just propelling ourselves to the person that we want to be, because we're thinking about the future. We're thinking we don't have the tools and the resources now, but we have to just live each day, day by day, because we can't focus on the future. We can't focus on the past. We can only focus on right now. So it's just very important. Things you can do is affirmations. I write affirmations on my bathroom mirror. If I'm really needing it, if I'm going through something, I got one that says keep the peace. If you're going through something, just have a sticky note. I remember being Mary Jane, she used to have all these sticky notes on her wall, certain things like that to keep you going. I know Dollar Tree sells good, like inspirational little cards. You can pull a card every day, even if you just finding a podcast or a morning worship song. I don't know. Figure out something that can really get your momentum going. And speaking of a morning, mamas, we really need to have a routine and just have at least, if you can just get at least 15 or 30 minutes of undivided attention just with you. Set your tone right just with you by yourself. So if that means you got to go to sleep early so you can wake up early so you can get 30 minutes by yourself, you do that. You do that. I know for me, I do that. I wake up, I get myself together, I cook breakfast, I water my plants, I fix my tea. I'm really a settled mama now. I cut on the news to see if they got any breaking news. I get me going. Scroll on social media for a bit, post a little bit if I feel like it. Do whatever you have to do to get you going before your kid or kids wake up and you on mama mode. Have that time to yourself to read the book. If you a morning person, you like to read books, or maybe do it at night. If you know you can't do it in the morning, have it at night, where you make sure you get your kids in the bed at a good time, where you can sit down, read a book, get a notebook, write down your plans, because I feel we should aim higher beyond being a mom. yes, we have this title, but what else are you going to do besides being a mom? I think that's also why we get so stuck in this box, because we're not being anything else than a mom. You can be more than a mom. Like, again, mom is just another title. And again, I just love the women that I'm around, because we're a mom, but we so many other things, but we are making it happen. And that's what matters. So moms out there who may not be doing anything, I ain't gonna push entrepreneurship on everybody, but I feel like you should start something. I don't know what it is. You gotta pray on it. You gotta do your own research, just like how I did mine. But I feel like we should all have something. Not saying you don't have to make millions of dollars, not even $1,000. It can only be $20, or maybe it's like, again, a hobby. But I feel like you should have something that shows is yours, because again, I can tell y'all, and I'm gonna have like my own little side video, just breakdown of just starting doing pop-up shops with my daughter. It was very fulfilling to just have my daughter there. I thought my daughter being there for the first time, normally I'm a solo pop-up shop, she's never with me, it was gonna be a struggle, but it wasn't. She was loving it. She was helping me set up, she was engaging with the people walking by, she was just doing and just seeing me in my mode. She was like, "Mommy, you're so pretty." Like, she was just saying so much stuff, and I just really couldn't believe it, because it's still a shocker, just seeing your baby grow up. But just allowing my daughter to be in that element, it will also give her the exposure to new things. And I don't know what your new thing, what your thing can be, but take your kids along the ride with you. So many times we trying to throw them to the wayside, but take them along the ride. And I feel when you take them along the ride with you, you'll be able to adjust and maneuver better when things or situations pop up. All right. The last thing, we also need to talk about this quote unquote good idea, or the idea of being a good mom. Okay, we have to really try to stop being like this perfect mom, because this is our first time doing this. So again, if you all still celebrate, the holidays heavily, as far as buying all these Christmas gifts, doing all this stuff for their birthday, things like that, and this may be a tough season for you, please don't let, because you couldn't buy your kid 20 gifts this year, you were only able to buy them 10 gifts, get you down. It's not about that. Kids, it doesn't really take a lot to make a kid happy. If you all are really like bonding and really like having that time, again, I know they have their peers and influences, but still at the end of the day, your home is your home. So if you're pouring into them and speaking to them, they know, again, gifts, if y'all still celebrate, it's beyond gifts. It's beyond, okay, this is only one birthday. You got many more birthdays to come. Also, we sometimes need to be more transparent, depending on how older you are, as far as like the kid age range. Just be realistic with your kid. Hey, we got other obligations, but instead of, you don't gotta tell them all your business if you don't want to, but if you can get 10 gifts, you only can get 5. Tell them, put the top 5. Give me a list for your top 5, and or make it as if, okay, give me your top 7, or do a top 3 list, get 3 gifts, but then do 2 bonuses, and then come for the holidays, you getting everything for them, and they be so shocked, like little things like that. You have to learn how to, I wouldn't say play around it, but again, life is beyond gifts. Like, please don't stress yourself out about one day. Like one day. And that's a whole nother story, a whole nother conversation. I ain't gonna get in too deep. But please don't stress yourself out about one day. please don't get behind on bills one day. I'ma keep it 100. Do not get behind on bills because you want to buy all this stuff and they go rip through everything and they go end up be playing with that cheap plastic toy and don't care about anything else, and then you go get mad because they ain't playing about nothing else. So then that's when you decide to take it back and now you feeling bad. It's just a domino effect. Like, don't do that. Like, it's beyond that. Maybe instead of focusing on the gifts, save your money up to travel, even if maybe it's y'all getting just a room in a different city. Things like that. I think moms, we need to be creative beyond the gifts because it's it's a lot. It's a lot going on in this world. And we shouldn't be focusing on materialistic things. We need to be focusing on our kids, making sure we're growing with them again, spiritually, emotionally, physically. We need to be bonding better together as a unit compared to just focusing on things. You can get things at any time. God can put you back on top at any time. Maybe this may be your test right now to not focus on things, focus on something else. So please be mindful for these upcoming months because I really hate to see moms just breaking their back trying to get these gifts. They sit there. It's like the post they was talking about. We sitting there on the couch watching our kids opening up the toys, but in the back of your head, heck, you may have couldn't afford it. Just keeping a buck. You may couldn't afford it. You had to do so much, to get them gifts. No telling what you had to do. What all you had to sacrifice, what bills you had to put on hold or couldn't pay just for some gifts. We got to be better than that. Like, I feel like, again, we can do other things. Don't celebrate, take a trip. Don't celebrate, go outside, do something, or simply just don't celebrate. We not gonna do it this year, and it's okay. Again, this is your household. Sometimes we put too much control, emphasis on the kid, put the kid on top when it comes to our household, and they have to go with the flow. Yes, we are parenting them. We want to give them a world, but again, we have to be realistic and don't keep up with the Joneses, So that's a whole nother topic, but I'm going to keep it cute and sweet. Please don't break your back this holiday season because that's just too much. And my girl Candace said, yes, I bring my daughter to prenatal sometimes. I love it. I can't wait till I really get in that field. I know my girl, she already be doctor, with the stethoscope, and we wanting to poke me with the shots. I know she gonna bring my blood pressure machine. She just gonna be doing so much. So I really love it. So again, kids don't need perfect. They need present. Again, even if it's maybe you getting a few board games, have a game night. Create the cute games. Like, spend time with your kids. Like, I promise my daughter loves when I just get down with her and just play. Like, she gets so geeked and I be like, okay, come on, let's play. She be like, yay, your kids, one thing, it don't matter what age. If you got an older son or an older daughter in middle school, high school, go. I tried this week. Just be like, come on, let's go play. Let's go outside and play. Let's go. Let me play ball with you. Let me play football with you. If they still play double dutch, let me play double dutch with you. Whatever they do, I bet you it's gonna change their whole mood. They're gonna be like, huh? But then they gonna be forward, So again, we just have to be present because I know, for me, looking back, I will remember the times my parents were present. Again, that's what we want, is a present person. I know other people I grew up with, they may not have had a lot, but they had present parents, and that's what matters the most. Like, I always hear and see about the the celebrity kids, they say, yeah, I got everything I wanted, but I wish my mom was there instead of out on the road doing this, doing that, and I don't want to be like that when it comes to me working on my business. That's one reason why I had to slow down, because I want to be a present mom. I don't want to be a hustle mom. Yes, I would like to thrive in my business, but if my business doing more than the capacity I have, I don't have no problem letting it go, and we have to really self-reflect and look into our lives and see, is there anything we're making an idol, whether that's being like social media, having 2, 3, 4 jobs, maybe just find one good job, and maybe you need to just go in a season where you may have to downsize so you can really be attentive with your kid. We really have to make realistic decisions. So again, we don't want to have kids that grow up and they feel like that we were not emotionally there, physically present. We need to break the curse, break it. So again, we can have a new generation that's rising that will be emotionally in tune, and just thriving and growing as one. And lastly, balancing it all. Balance and self-care is key, just like how I first started. Mamas, we really need to take care of ourselves. I don't care if you have to just make a money pot, putting $5, $10 to the side and have enough where you can just go get a pedicure, go get your ends clipped, get a maintenance hairdo, buy a cute outfit. And that's another thing. Your kids got enough clothes. And I'm speaking for myself. I do my season shopping. So I know my daughter is good right now. Now it's time to get our stuff. Okay. We need to get our boots. We need to get our winter stuff. Okay. I don't want us to be looking all cold and stuff because we got this thin jacket, but our kids be looking all warm. Get your stuff, invest in yourself. I promise when you look good, you feel good. And kids, look at this. Like, kids watch us, mamas. Like, kids love to hype us up. I remember growing up back in the day, like my classmates and stuff, we'll be talking about our moms or our parents and stuff like that. We like to see our parents thriving, and I don't want my daughter, I'm not finna go outside, especially once my daughter start going to school and I'm looking busted and disgusted. I'm going to the school looking a hot mess. That gotta be no, I don't want that. I want to be able to look presentable, look good, be nice and fit, and the kids were like, oh, that's her mama, because I got the personality and stuff. I got to just make sure everything else continues to carry, so I want my daughter to be proud that I'm her mom, and I feel like we need to have that mindset, and that starts with pouring into ourselves. And I promise, I feel when we look good, I promise, life may be lifing, but it don't be lifing that bad when I look good, when my hair done, like when I'm carrying myself well, like life can get a hold of me, but it don't be holding me that bad when I'm looking good. So even if you're going through a test right now, mama, put on some lip gloss. My girl, she got a lip gloss sale going on. I shared it on my page. You buy you some makeup. It doesn't take much. I don't be wearing really a whole lot of fancy makeup. I get my makeup from the drugstore, from Ulta. It doesn't cost a lot. Try curling your hair, YouTube University. We just really need to start taking care of ourselves, mama. I understand the sacrifice, but sometimes we have to be selfish for us. We need to be selfish for us. A mom is just another title. It's not what defined us. I was so many other things before I became a mom. Again, mom is an added bonus. So again, also make sure you know how to say no, put those boundaries in place, making sure that you use your voice and share when you need to share, So I'm going to be closing this out. Again, I hope this conversation reminded you that the winter wellness, that winter season, that dark season, is not about the upcoming holidays. It's not about the Christmas breaks. All of that stuff is really about near and dear to you. Locking in and focusing on you. These are the times where you really need to plan. Make October your planning month. Make October the month you really sit down and strategize. How do you want November, December, January, and little parts of February to go? Because really, once we get in February, we good. It says November, December, and January. So plan in October. How do you want the rest of this year to go and next year to go? Again, make sure you regulate your emotions. Don't act emotionally. If you in a heated debate, just shut it down. If someone texts you something out the way, wait 1 or 2 business days to respond. Calm your nerves down. You don't have to pull the trigger so quick. You don't have to pull the trigger at all. Calm down, rationalize. Again, it all starts about nurturing your whole self, which is your body, your emotions, your spirit, eating right, fulfilling yourself. Again, me, I read the Bible, I talk to God. That's me feeling myself spiritually, writing in my journal. Remember, being a good mother is about love, and it's not about perfection. You don't have to be perfect, Patty. I'm not about to be perfect, Patty. I mess up. Just because I make carry it easy, I be messing up. It is what it is. We all may fall short, but the main thing is we have to get back up and keep going, So I hope and I pray that you all enjoy this quick little session, just talking about these upcoming months, talking about how us mothers, we can just prepare for these winter months, because again, it may get hard, but again, I believe in God. I'm gonna always speak on God. I know God is a provider, He's a sustainer, and He will continue to lift us mothers up if we want to be kept, if we allow Him and surrender. So again, just really lean on God. I'm gonna just say it, just lean on God. He will truly direct your path. He will give you resources. He will give the tools. And I just pray that you all just stay encouraged. You stay motivated. I don't know what season of life that you may be in, but I want you to know what the old folks say, trouble don't last always. Your rainbow is coming. Your rainbow is already here. You just got to get to it, So again, I hope you all stay motivated. For the month of October, we will be taking a break, but we will be picking back up in November. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We are on YouTube. I got a special announcement. We are on another platform as well. I will be sharing that. So when you driving and stuff, you'll be able to listen to. I'm just very excited on what, again, God is doing for Doula Talk Tuesday. I'm excited for the upcoming special guests and what we can do as far as sharing and helping mothers from labor, delivery to postpartum, and even walking this thing of motherhood out. So I hope y'all be blessed. Again, if you catch the replay, just drop a comment. Let me know you catch the replay. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye.